Let's turn to the war in West Asia, where it seemed that the United Nations has prevailed over Israel. New reports said that Netanyahu will not strike Iran's nuclear or oil facilities. His forces will only attack Iran's military. And this should have prevented an all-out war. But then came a twist. We'll tell you all about it. As you're aware, the tension has been building for the past 2 weeks. The world has been waiting to see the scale of Israel's retaliation. You see, on the 1st of October, some 2 weeks back, Iran sent almost 200 missiles into Israel. Israel vowed to take revenge, and since then, they have exchanged threats almost every day. Now it appears that Israeli preparations are in their final stages. They are strengthening their air defenses with support from the United States, which has sent soldiers to Israel, along with the THAAD missile defense system. All this while, despite their differences, the Americans have also been in touch with Netanyahu. And reports say that he has given assurances that Israel will not target Iran's oil or nuclear facilities. Instead, they will go after Iran's military. So is Netanyahu finally giving in? For days, he's been under pressure from the United States. America is opposed to sweeping attacks on Iran. Biden has been trying to calibrate Israel's response and define clear red lines on how far they should go. An attack on an oil facility would send global crude prices soaring. And an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities would be even worse. It would invite a major response from Tehran and could consume the entire region into a wider war. So if Israel must strike back, it should target Iran's military only. Reports say Netanyahu told the US that Israel will launch a limited strike, focusing specifically on military installations. That means a more targeted response and a more tempered approach towards Iran. At least that's what Netanyahu led the US to believe. But it's not a done deal. Because look at the statement that came from his office. It said, and I'm quoting, "We listen to the opinions of the United States, but we will make our final decisions based on our national interest." So the US cannot take anything for granted. Netanyahu could still go ahead and order a sweeping attack on Iran. And he's done that before, leading the US to believe something and doing the exact opposite. Last month, after reportedly agreeing to a ceasefire, he tore up the deal. Meanwhile, the Israeli military continues to pound Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel's offensive in Lebanon is expanding. So far, only southern Lebanon and Beirut have faced strikes. But now the Israeli troops are moving north of Lebanon. They are conducting airstrikes. Israeli airplanes bombed a residential building in I-2. It's a Christian village. Operations are also intensifying in the south. Israel says it has uncovered more underground tunnels.
We're now in the bunker that we found underneath a Lebanese house in a Shia village, only a couple of kilometers from our border. This bunker was ready for Radwan forces, for a battalion of Radwan forces to enter into this bunker and do a raid into Israel and do a larger scale of massacre than the 7th of October. They were planned with the motorcycles here to go to Kiryat Shmona, to Iftach, to villages, and positions inside Israel and conduct a massacre.
We don't know where or when this video was filmed, but Israel has been making these claims repeatedly. It says Hezbollah was planning a large-scale attack similar to the Hamas operation on October 7th. So it has no option but to keep going. And what does Hezbollah say? They want Israel to agree to a ceasefire in Gaza.
I say to the Israeli Home Front Command, the solution is a ceasefire. We are not speaking from a position of weakness. If the Israelis do not want it, we will continue. After the ceasefire, according to the indirect agreement, the settlers will return to the north and other steps will be drawn up.
So Hezbollah wants a ceasefire, but if Israel keeps fighting, they will fight back. That's the warning from their deputy chief. Israel, on its part, says it is fighting to ward off a bigger threat. Today, they conducted a wave of strikes across Gaza, killing more than 40 Palestinians. So will Netanyahu raise the stakes with Iran, or will the Americans prevail this time? We are closely tracking this story.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.